Okay, y'all, if you need some really good deals on used devices, you can go to swappa.com. I searched for the Pixel 2 device here. I bought 10 of these at $74, and I got them from this seller. If you need a recommendation, very reliable and fast shipping. Okay, y'all, I've gotten all of the Wi-Fi credentials in for all of these. And what I recommend is you guys use a different account than your main one. So I'm going to set up just a different test account and use the same one on all these devices. There's really no reason to use different accounts for each device because the minor files we're going to be putting on here are not going to be pushed through an APK, through an app, or backed up through the App Store. So you may as well just have one account. It's not like you need to have them backed up or cloud protected unless you plan to use them for something else. All right. I'm also setting everything brightness level 100%, dark theme, adaptive brightness off, and screen timeout 5 minutes. One other thing that you'll want to make sure you do on your device, at least on Android devices, is there is a default security measure where it randomizes the MAC address. So you're going to go to settings on that network once you added your Wi-Fi network, and you're going to go to advanced. Oops. And you'll see privacy here says use randomized MAC. What you're going to do is tap on that and say use device MAC. So use device MAC, and what that does is that sets this address here to be consistent, so you can then set up a DHCP IP reservation in your router. So you want to use that MAC address to make this IP static, and then you can always get to it via that IP remotely. It's not going to change on you. Okay, now this part's very important. When you're setting up USB debugging, Wi-Fi debugging, you want to go ahead and turn, I guess, like all of these on, except for the bug report you can ignore. But what you're saying here is if I want to plug in a cable, I can debug it. If I want to do it over the Wi-Fi network, and I want to also disable timeout. So, for example, this is saying if I haven't connected in 7 days, it's going to deauthorize my laptop from connecting to this, and I'll have to reauthorize, which means I'll have to come to the phone, I'll have to tap a dialog pop-up that says allow, and we don't want that. So I might have to do it the first time, but with this toggle turned on, with it disabled, with the disabled enabled, what that'll do is prevent me from having to reauthorize every time I want to update the minor software, so or files. So you want to make sure those three settings are on. When you do this wireless debugging one, it's going to prompt you. It's going to show you like the MAC address and have a checkbox. You want it to be always always allow. It'll make sense when it comes up. I think by default it always allows, but just make sure that's set to always allow, and then you should be good to go. Okay, and if you're reproducing this using the Pixel 2s like I am, you're going to get to a point where it says, you're done. This device will no longer receive updates, and that's okay. So you want to make sure they're all at the same stage before you move on. So as you're setting these up, you want to optimize them as much as you can. You don't want a lot of resources going to background apps or things like that. So what I've got here, this is a phone that hasn't been app optimized yet. This one has, in terms of removing junk. And I even remove stuff like the camera, the Maps app, Google Play, movies and music and all that. I could probably remove the browser too, but for now I left like Google Drive, if I need to drop any files manually to here, or Play Store to do updates. But you really don't need all this other junk. Like, you're not going to make calls, you're not going to do video chats, you're not going to have contacts, you're not going to need email, right? So I would recommend you go in and you remove these. Now, some of them will let you uninstall, but some of them, if you press and hold, you get a little info button, you have to just disable them. So, like, you're not going to get a chance to uninstall, you just hit disable, and when you go back, it's not there. If you ever want to re-enable it, you can go into your settings and apps, and you can re-enable it. But that's what I recommend doing, is slimming it down to the bare minimum. When it comes time to install an app, you should just have to install Termux, which is a terminal emulator, and that will allow us to run the mining software. I also just realized that this is a live wallpaper. So you see how the background is a video, and that's going to use up a lot of battery. So what you want to do is go into, do it here. Go into your settings, and you want to make sure, let me see if I can get it focused here. You want to make sure you just do like a solid color. Something plain. There. It's the update race. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the update race? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, neck and neck. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to create a customized version of the launcher, which in Linux is a .sh file, or on Android, which is also Linux based, same file. So we want to take that file and we're going to modify one for each of the 10 devices. And so what we need first, if you were to look in this file, is we're going to need, and I got these from here. So this is the latest release of the NoSoGo miner from Leviable version 1.1.3, and I went down here to ARM64 zip, and I got that one. These are ARM64 based devices, the Pixel 2, that is. So inside that file, there's three zips, inside that zip, there's three files, one of which is this configuration. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we put in these values for each of the pools. For each of the settings. So you want your wallet address, your pool, and how many CPUs. So before we edit this file, though, we need to get a list of our wallet addresses. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our my pool wallet. Sorry, I said pool wallet, my personal wallet, rather. And what I'm going to do is I need to use these addresses here, down here. And so I'm just going to use the last 10. It doesn't really matter which ones you use, as long as you're not using, I wouldn't use your main one. And I wouldn't use one if you run a pool. So I run a pool off of this one, so I'm not going to use that one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new sheet. So I'm going to create this here. And I'm going to use this for other things too. So I'm going to use this for keeping track of my local LAN IPs, names, and all that stuff of the device. So this is the device name. Whoops. Name. I'm also going to have, what is its IP address? Maybe the wallet address. We'll think of some other stuff if we need to. And so I've been calling them testy, fARMy. What did I call it? No, I just called it fARMy 001 and fARMy 002. And the reason I'm calling it this is people that have Bitcoin farms, that's kind of a common term, farm. It's also an army of devices. Okay, and it's ARM based. Okay, there you go. Cheesy dad joke, whatever. So I'm going to go down and create 10 of these, and those will each have their own IP. I'm going to set up IP reservations for that, but I'm going to go ahead and paste in the wallet addresses that I'm going to use for each of these. So I'm going to get that from my wallet here, and so let me just copy, paste, copy. Okay, so we're just going to, whoops, we're just going to get 10 of these. And as long as they're not, like I said, your first one or your, or the pool one. And, sorry, one more stipulation, they can't be used by other miners. So each miner has to use its own unique ID. That's a little bit different than most other coins that use like a stratum address. You could have multiple workers or miners using the same address, and it's no big deal. But in this case, these are going to be my only miners. I am mining using this computer sometime, but I use one of these up here, so I'm not too worried about it. So these are my 10 addresses. I'm going to create SH files that contain each of these, and then we'll go from there. Okay, now we've got all 10 files completed, and that will allow us to put one SH file and then the executable on each device. So on the 001 device, I'll put these two files. On the 002 device, I'll put these two files. 003, 004, and so forth.
05, 06.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'll show you what the setup is on one phone, and then I'm replicating that manually right now. I'll probably try to find a way to automate this, since I enabled ADB over Wi-Fi, but I don't know how to do that yet. So what I've been doing is downloading a file explorer called RS File Explorer. And what this allows us to do is it gives us an open as option, or RS file manager rather. And the open as option lets you select any application you want to select as the target. So it'll let me select the Terminux terminal emulator. Skip. Okay, and so my downloads folder is where I want everything. But right now it's not here, so I have to go get the miner files from Google Drive. So I'm going to open location. And this is the 7th phone. So I'm going to press and hold the miner, the no-so-go. And then I'm going to go down to 007. So this is the 007 SH. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 6 of them mining right now. So this is number 7, so I'm going to hit download now. Okay, and so that downloaded these files. And now when I go back to this Explorer, they're here. Now, these have to be, the permissions on these have to be changed first. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open this one in the terminal emulator. And the first thing I have to do is the chmod a plus x, and then I put in the file name. So chmod a plus x no-so-go dash go. And if it works, it'll just go to the next line. Oh. Cannot access. Oh. Okay. The way this works is weird. Like, the only thing in there right now in this folder is the no-so-go sh file, not the actual no-so-go miner. So what I have to do is open this also in Termux, save in, downloads, open, and now if I list files, they're both there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that same command I was doing, chmod a plus x no so go. I'm typing slowly because I'm kind of reaching around the tripod here. It's a little weird. All right, and then I want to do the same thing with the sh file. So I'm just going to press up and do dash fARMy 007.sh. Okay, so those are both ready now to run. So I do period / then I do the file name noso -go -fARMy of the sh file 007.sh. As soon as I hit this, it should try to connect to the pool that I've specified in the sh file that we pre-specified, the YZ pool, and then it should use that number of CPUs, 8, and that wallet. Okay, so we have a join OK. And so using wallet, and so it's connected to that pool, and this is now mining. And so what you'll do is you'll just see this every couple seconds, scroll. That last number there, if you can see that, is the pool hash rate. So it's at 2.4 gigahashes right now. And then the ping number is my hash rate. So it's fluctuating between, 11 and 12 megahashes, maybe 10 and 12. When it stabilizes, it'll be around 10. And that's all there is to setting these up. It's a little tedious, but once you have them done and they're all running, then you just set it and forget it. So I'm going to let these run. I'm going to do this for all 10, the remaining 3 or 4, and then I'm going to, so we've done 7, so the remaining 3, and then I will come back in the morning and see what the results have been. Okay, and here's what they look like when they're mining. They're just sitting here on the charging station. So since we set it up to leave the screen on while charging, I can quickly glance at them and see if they're working, and it won't terminate the app since the screen is set to stay on. So it's as if I were holding it and pushing a button every now and then to keep it alive. So these two down here are still trying to connect. There's no slots on the pool at the moment, so as soon as some people drop off, it'll grab those slots, and as long as I leave this running, it won't release them. So I'll be able to have 10 of these running on the same pool. And if you look here, the latest ping, let's see. So like it'll fluctuate. This looks like it's gone down to 8.5. How about this? 8.3, and it'll pop back up. I've noticed it'll go sometimes to like 9. So anywhere between 8 and 10. All right, the results are in. So it looks like these 10 devices were able to mine about 105 NOSO in a 24-hour period, and that's about 10.5 coins per day per device. I'm going to run this for another day or two, and then take an average over 3 days to get a better sample size and see if there's any abnormalities or interesting things that pop up, like is that one device that got 23 fARMy 006 more efficient than the others, or was it just lucky and found more steps? Anyway, we'll see. For now, I hope you've enjoyed this video, so like and subscribe for more content. See ya.